A Locked In Baseball, Friday, October 31st. I'm William Locke. He's Luis Barranco. It's Halloween. The Dodgers have forced a Game 7 World Series. Luis, how's it going?
Game 7, happy Halloween. How you doing? What am I dressed as? What are you dressed as Halloween?
You had the sunglasses on, so I put them on too. You look like Bad Bunny, though.
Thank you very much, Bad Bunny. Should I be go see the Super Bowl or what? Or am I going to get canceled because I'm getting the Super Bowl? Okay, who knows? But hey, happy Halloween. It's Game 7. What a game today. Locked In Sports Baseball. We are here live. What time is it? It's 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 Standard Time. We're sacrificing our Halloweens to give you out quality content and talk about tonight's game. Let's talk about it. Hey, Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Hey, there were no Bad Bunny wasn't in the stands, but he's here at Locked In Sports Baseball podcast. He was locked in, as you say.
Drake was there tonight. Drake was there.
Hey, the Drake curse not looking real. Looking real right now. Looking spooky on Game 7, my guy.
What is that shirt?
What do you mean it's a white shirt? You've seen this shirt out before when we went to Indianapolis.
That is true. I have seen it. Back in college.
Everybody loves this shirt. You either love it or you hate it. It's like an acquired taste, like coffee. You either love it or you hate it. But hey, let's talk about some real baseball here tonight. Dodgers Blue Jays had a big game today. Game 6 out in the Rogers Center. Let's talk about it. Dodgers winning 3-1. The third inning is the point of inflection tonight. We have to talk about, what happened in the third inning. I'm going to go through the third inning for the listeners because that's the biggest inflection point of tonight's game. You see we saw in the top of the third, Tommy Edman got a double on a sharp line drive to Addison Barger. And then there's intentionally walking. Blue Jays went with the strategy to intentionally walk Shohei Ohtani with runners in scoring position tonight, which I think is very interesting of John Schneider to do tonight. And then Will Smith came and made them pay. Will Smith's been that one guy in the Dodger lineup to make the Toronto Blue Jays pay. He's the best one with hitting runners in scoring position. And after that, we saw Freddie Freeman walk, and then Mookie Betts brought in 2 with the single, which that was critical. Mookie finally got a big hit this series, making it 3-1.
I texted you before that at bat, and I said he's getting a hit here. Sure enough,
he paid out. He paid out.
I had a feeling inside fastball up and in, got his hands through the zone, and clutch it from Mookie there.
He loves that. He loves to pull the ball, and he loves those inside pitches. Bottom of the third, Addison Barger got a double, and then you saw a George Springer line drive bringing him in 3-1. But William, aside from that inning tonight, my guy, Dodger bats were pretty cold. But it was enough because they got Yamadog on the mound tonight. Yoshinobu Yamamoto did the job tonight.
Yamagoto.
Yamagoto, Yamadog, Yoshinobu Y squared. I think at the end of the day, let's review this game. Let's actually talk some real intellectual baseball tonight. Aside from that inning, the Dodgers really didn't do much at the plate. They had 4 hits. Kevin Gausman had a great game tonight, aside from allowing those 3. He allowed 3 hits, which turned into 3 runs. 6 strong, 3 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. He just really got unlucky tonight. And, when you're facing a guy at the caliber of Yoshinobu Yamamoto, you gotta make him pay, but they couldn't do it. And, we head to a Game 7.
The splitter from Gausman was absolutely filthy in pretty much every single inning except that third inning. The Dodgers went 1-2-3 in every inning except the third and the eighth. In the eighth, they had the bases loaded with Teoscar up, but he struck out on a fastball outside. That was with Sir Anthony Dominguez in the game at that point. Balls off the plate too there. So that was a missed opportunity for the Dodgers. They ended up going 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position. So, not many opportunities really outside of those 2 innings. Bats were cold again, but 4 hits got the job done. The Jays had 8 hits tonight, and they finished 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Really not a ton of action, like in terms of inflection points in this game outside of the third, where the Blue Jays were able to net a run back. That George Springer RBI single scored Barger, who had a leadoff double in that inning. that, was off Yamamoto, and Yamamoto looked great tonight. He wasn't as good as he has been in the last 2 starts, which is not, saying anything crazy because he's been so freaking good in the postseason so far. Back-to-back complete games. He only goes 6 innings this time, 96 pitches. Some people were thinking it was a little bit of an early hook, but Roberts went with Robleski in the 7th, and he did his job. He got through the inning, gave up the 1 hit, but he pitched pretty well. Got the huge strikeout of Jimenez to end that inning, the 7th, before the lineup flipped over to Springer, where you'd be a little bit more nervous, obviously, with the top of the lineup up against whatever they wanted to go from the bullpen. And then, of course, there were 2 nerve-wracking points of the game for Dodger fans. In the 8th, when Roki was in, he got out of a jam, finished off that inning with the Varsho ground out. And then in the 9th, where Roki gives up he hits Kirk, and then Barger doubles the ball that was in the crevice. I don't know, Justin Dean, defensive, but maybe could have gone for that one. I don't know.
Hands up. I mean, that's the biggest thing that John Smoltz made a point tonight, that if Justin Dean just goes for the ball, that ball's an active ball. Instead of putting his hands up, that's a heads-up play by Justin Dean. And I mean, it pays to have those defensive players make big critical plays and knowing ball. I mean, a lot of times if you don't know that situation, players will go make that play. But I mean, making that play, and then it proved to be a very impactful play, because then after that, they bring in Tyler Glass now. You get Ernie Clement to pop up on an inside up fastball, which I mean,
first
loves
pitch,
the fastball, first pitch, and then Andres Jimenez, really unlucky play, hitting a line drive out to left. Kike catches it and heads up play. And I mean, playoff Kike continues to make plays. He may not be impactful on the plate, but that is a heads up defensive play. I mean, Kike went 0 for 4 tonight with 3 strikeouts, but I mean, that's a really big defensive play. You don't allow George Springer to come and get an at bat, which I think we can look back on as a big what if the series goes to the Dodgers' way. What if he doesn't make that heads up play? George Springer gets an AB, and who knows what can happen? Maybe he gets a hit, he brings both of them in, and we're in extras, and we're still watching the game right now.
I think if Kike caught it but didn't double up Barger at second, which, by the way, that was a terrible base running mistake by Barger, I think they would have just walked Springer to pitch to Lucas.
But my thing is that a terrible base running by? That's a really hard play to judge, because that ball was like dying. It was one of those like really like fast dyers that, if that ball dies in front of Kike, that's a guy on third, and it's 2-3 with 1 out. And it's hard to judge when those really like quick ones. And you want to be aggressive in those situations. And maybe he was too aggressive, but you got to take that chance to get the runner in, man. Like, you got to make runners over.
I think he was too aggressive in that situation. You're not scoring from second in that situation. It's not a ball, that's driven. If anything, it's a blooper. If it drops, you're just getting to third, you're advancing to third. And, obviously not getting doubled up is more important than getting to third in that situation, because you can still score on a Springer single or a Lucas single, whoever was going to hit in that situation. I don't think it was a smart base running decision from Barger. I think that was pretty cautious. And the ball hung up pretty, like, it's not like Kike had to lay out. He caught it at his chest.
I mean, he was running towards. I disagree, man. I mean, the difference of being a runner on second and a runner on third, that's a big difference. I mean, you'd rather have a runner on third, 1 out, ninth inning. I mean, that's easier. You can do a sac fly. There's so many more possibilities to score him. You may see a squeeze play to get him in. I mean, I completely disagree. I think, you got to be aggressive on the base pass, and,
it would have been
really
2
unfortunate.
Out. Or are you saying if it dropped in front of Kike?
I'm saying if it drops in front of Kike.
But that ball hung up, man. He did not get a good read on it.
It was still a tough play. I mean, still, like I said, you have to be aggressive in that situation.
I disagree. I think the out is it was reckless.
I would rather have you on third and try to get it, because there's more possibilities of have you on third. Yes, boneheaded mistake now looking at the fact, but I mean,
he should have. You got to read the ball in the air better than he did.
Got it, but I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm just saying, like, I don't fault it. Yes, it's boneheaded when you look at it, but when you think of the logic, I really would prefer him being at third and maybe a squeeze play. You have, like I said, a lot more possibilities to score in that lineup. And so, I mean, look, Roki wasn't great tonight. We can both agree to that. He got the outs, and, there was a lot of things that happened. I mean, I think the biggest inflection point, talking about the 8th and the 9th, Dave Roberts went to Tyler Glasnow, and you would imagine Tyler Glasnow would be the pitcher for tomorrow. Is that opening the door for Shohei Ohtani pitching tomorrow?
I think it'll be Ohtani to start and then Glasnow as the bulk guy. I mean, Glasnow threw 3 pitches. I know he got hot and everything, so you have to factor that into it, the warm up and everything. But no, I wasn't too surprised to see Glasnow. I think they ruled out before the game that Ohtani wasn't going to go out of the pen tonight, but he would be available for a potential Game 7. So I wasn't stunned by the Glasnow move. I thought it was interesting that he was their second guy up in the pen behind Sasaki in that situation. They brought in Shaheen, or they warmed up Shaheen for a little bit, sat him down.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, it's a super nerve-wracking and huge situation. You probably don't go Will Klein there, but if, it was a lower leverage spot in the 8th or the 9th, I don't know, maybe you go Klein instead of old Ed Sheeran. I don't know, but
Emmett Shaheen. Look. Here's my thing, my guy. I think Ohtani's going to pitch tomorrow. I mean, it's Game 7. Everything's on the line. You put your best chips forward, and I mean, with them putting out Glasnow tonight, it just reveals their hand. And when Smoltz said on the telecast, they gotta. It's all hands on deck tomorrow. Everybody's pitching who's available. If you're a position player, you better be taking BP tomorrow, like getting ready, because your name might get called and you have to produce. It is Game 7 of the World Series. I mean, you either go home a champion back to LA, or you go home, thinking coulda, woulda, shoulda, and you're retooling for next year. So, I mean, look, Ohtani's going, Glasnow's going, everybody's going. It don't matter,
Oh yeah, everyone. It's Game 7, all hands on deck. It's our first Game 7 since 2019, so 6 years. Super exciting. And
that was the big Nats Astros series.
Yeah, I was watching highlights from that today. Because I'll be honest, neutral fan in this series, don't care who wins. I was rooting for a Game 7 tonight just because we haven't had one in so long. And we were spoiled there for a little bit. We had a Game 7 in 14, 16, 17, and 19. And I'll say this, everyone says the best 2 words in sports are Game 7. I'll do you one better. I think the best 4 words in sports are World Series, Game 7, and worlds or Game 7s in the NBA and NHL. They're great, of course. The intensity there is second to none. But I think what sets baseball apart in their Game 7s is just the all hands on deck approach that they have compared to the other sports. NBA, NHL, you're going to be running the same guys that you have been all series. And that's true for the guys in the lineup tomorrow night. It's going to be mostly the same lineups that we've seen across both teams tomorrow. But what sets baseball apart is the way teams approach pitching and how they work their work the arms in a Game 7. Think of all the legendary performances in a Game 7. Like, you have guys, or there are just things that happen in Game 7 pitching wise that don't happen in any other game throughout the entire season. I mean, we're gonna see Ohtani pitch on short rest. We're gonna see Glasnow pitch on short rest. We're gonna see probably Trey Savage tomorrow. We could see, who knows? I mean, Yamamoto got a little bit of an early hook. I thought he might have gone another inning. He might go for a batter or 2 tomorrow. He pitched 96 pitches today. Wouldn't be shocked. And, I think of iconic Game 7 moments. I'll never forget Madison Bumgarner closing out the World Series in 2014 Game 7 after pitching like 117 pitches 2 days earlier. And then he went like 5 shut in Game 7 in 2014. 2016, you had John Lester coming out of the pen in Game 7. 2017, Kershaw came out of the pen for the Dodgers. They did lose that game, but you had Charlie Morton close out the game for the Astros. 2019, it was Patrick Corbin on short rest out of the pen for like 3 innings. So you just see things that you don't see all season long in a Game 7 in baseball. Whereas in the other sports, it's really just like kind of everyone's really super nervous. And like, you think of 2016 NBA Finals Game 7, where it was an iconic game, but like, if you watch the last stretch of that, it's just a bunch of missed shots because everyone was so nervous. I think what sets baseball apart for a Game 7 is just the all hands on deck approach, and the fact that we're going to see, guys that pitched today or in game 5. They're going to go tomorrow. It's all hands on deck. If, the second a pitcher starts to struggle even a little bit, he's pulled, we're going to the pen. So I can't wait. I've been waiting so long for a game 7. Everyone has for a game 7. It's the first one we've had since 2019, like I said. So, it literally doesn't get any better than this. And last thing I'll say on that is this series, it feels like a game 7 fits it. It feels like this is the right conclusion. These are two, we've determined, very evenly matched teams, and nothing better than a game 7 in the World Series.
I mean, that's just baseball, as we would say at best. When you come to this game 7, you forget about the moments about Charlie Morton getting that line drive to his leg. You forget about that, not in the game 7, but that line drive to his leg. You forget about iconic playoff moments like Walker Buehler just coming in and going super Jesus last year in the end of the playoffs, pitching like out of the pen. Like
Howie Kendrick home run, the Raji Davis home run,
David Freese. Don't forget
was game
David
6.
Freese. But still, it's not game 7, but I think iconic moments, and that's what I'm saying about baseball. It's just like it can come from anybody. Like in these big major sports, it's always like LeBron, Curry. It's Peyton Manning, Tom Brady with the touchdown. In baseball, it could be dudes like Will Klein, Howie Kendrick, Charlie Morton, David Freese, Rajai Davis. Like, you never know. It's beautiful. Everybody has an opportunity to grab life by the horns and make the most out of it. And we truly don't know what's going to happen. It's honestly a true toss-up tomorrow. And I think from a neutral's perspective, it's a great way to end the season.
Perfect.
Like, look at a season that's been completely balanced across the board. No one team has proven themselves to be elite or a cut above the rest. And we're getting a great happy ending. It's like you're watching a good movie. Like I quote my buddy Armand on this. Armand talks as a big movie guy. And we always talk about putting a fitting ending to films. And that's what we're getting. We're getting a fitting ending to the film of the 2025 MLB season. Tomorrow, it all ends in Toronto. The Toronto fans are going to be rocking. Rogers Center is going to be absolutely a madhouse. It was chilling. I was watching the game, and it was chilling when George Springer came up to bat, and his walk-up was there. Like, the sound was damn near deafening at the point that I was like, wow, I could not believe how tuned up the Rogers Center was. And can you imagine how tuned up they were tonight? Imagine how tomorrow night's going to be. Tomorrow night is going to be crazy. My buddy Mike sent me a text message and sent me tickets of prices, $130,000 behind home plate.
What?
Exactly.
That should be illegal. That is ridiculous.
It's a whole country rooting. And Vlad Guerrero said it in the intro, in the Fox intro. It's for the city and a country. There's a lot riding on tomorrow's game and a lot of legacies. And I wanted to talk about this tonight. Let's pull up George Springer's resume. If the Blue Jays are to win tomorrow night and they win 7, is George Springer building a dark horse Hall of Fame career? Let's talk about it. He's had the most home runs in a single World Series with 5 in 2017, which was tied with Chase Utley and Reggie Jackson. He's a 4-time All-Star, World Series champion in 17, World Series MVP in 17, and a 2-time Silver Slugger. And if he wins tomorrow, that'd be another World Series with a different team. I think we have to start talking about him building a very dark horse. Not a great candidacy, but a dark horse candidacy to make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think he'll fall short. I think he's above the Hall of pretty good. He's in like the Hall of very good, not Hall of Fame. Like he's a cup below. And I do think the whole Astros cheating scandal thing, whatever your opinions are on that, will affect it. The writers will weigh that in some regard. He hasn't finished in top 5 in MVP voting, although he might this season. This is probably the best season of his career, statistic-wise.
He's the voice of the Blue Jays. You can talk about he's the guy, the voice of the Blue Jays. He's like the heartbeat. Vladimir Guerrero is the best player. We all agree, but he's the heartbeat. He's the energizer. He's their lineup look different, when he's in there.
2 hits tonight in his return, and they were talking about how there might be injuries that he has that they haven't even announced yet. Like, I feel like he is just on
But
his
every,
last legs tonight.
But that's just baloney. Excuse me. I just have to say that's just baloney. Everybody's hurt at this point in the season. Like nobody's fully healthy. Everybody has some type of discomfort, aches, pains, and soreness. When you go through 162, you've been playing since February, March, and you're already in November. It's November baseball. Like there's obviously some type of injury or discomfort. Nobody's fully healthy, and don't let anybody fool you that they're fully healthy.
Nobody's fully healthy, but he has been banged up more than others this postseason. With
he has a magnet to the freaking baseball at this point. Like the ball just hits him on the knee, the hand. Like what body part has the baseball not hit George Springer this postseason?
It's a good point. Yeah, he has been banged up. Bichette did not get pinch ran for tonight, so he played the whole game. I will say also on the Justin Dean thing in the 9th inning, I feel like that was a bit of a ballsy move by Dean to throw his hands up there, because what if the ball squirms out, or what if the umpire's like, no, that's still in play for whatever reason? I always get nervous when I see guys going for the hands up thing, because what if on the off chance the umpire's like, no, we're going to keep playing? Because that one was close. Like it looked like to me,
heads up play.
Yeah, it was. But from the blind eye, it looked like that ball was, you could have snagged it out of there. So, I mean, that ended up obviously working in the Dodgers' favor, but it was 2nd and 3rd. If you're a Blue Jays fan, you have to be just kicking yourself tonight. You were that close to tying Game 6 of the World Series at home, and you probably favor the Blue Jays the rest of the way in that game. 2nd and 3rd, no outs. And I know the double play was terrible, but I'll look back to that Ernie Clement at bat, swinging first pitch. New pitcher in the game in that situation too. The sinker, he probably saw the sinker middle and it went in on him, and it was able to kind of saw him off, easy pop up to first base. But man, that was quite literally the last thing you could have done. Even a sac fly is obviously better in that situation, or a ground out that scores a run, because they were playing back. I mean, just he's been so good this postseason too. For him to make that mistake, just that sucks for him. I know he's frustrated tonight, but the good news for him is they have a Game 7 to bounce back. Dave Roberts had to manage the game tonight as if there was no Game 7, whereas the Jays managed it as if there was a Game 7 tomorrow. Varland, 17 pitches. He's ready to go. I think everybody's going to be ready to go. You could even see Gausman. He threw 93 pitches. He could be ready for an at-bat or two tomorrow. I mean, it truly is all hands on deck. I think everybody's in play, even Yamamoto, 96 pitches tonight. Again, like I said earlier, he could be ready to go for an at-bat or two tomorrow. So I can't wait. I wish it started now. Like
they have all to play for tomorrow. And I will say this. I think we are brushing over a few things. I mean, when you're a Blue Jays fan, 2nd and 3rd, you're thinking Joe Carter all over again. You're thinking Joe Carter walk off again in that situation. And what I hate about the Fox podcast and Joe Davis tonight, it's like he's literally like, oh, Joe Davis, no team has come back. Like it's literally like he's trying to do the announcer's curse. And I'm like, stop. Like we get it. We understand. Stop forcing it down my throat. Like my mouth isn't open to eat. Like, please stop.
I feel like didn't he say like there's only been 2 walk-off home runs in World Series history, Joe Carter and Bill Mazeroski. I don't feel like that was the move there. It was 2nd and 3rd, no outs. They could tie the game with a single. It doesn't have to be a walk-off home run.
It have to be all right. I know he's building up the dramatic, but let's relax. Like, please relax. And we understand that Joe Davis is the Fox guy, but please relax. What's crazy is he's the lead play-by-play for the Dodgers. Like, could you imagine if Michael Kay was the lead play-by-play for Yankees World Series? You texted me that. Could you imagine that? Think
the backlash.
The backlash would be ridiculous.
I do want to say I really like Joe Davis. I think
I do too.
He's done, and we've talked about him throughout the playoffs. Like he's done a great job, and I think he's taken over for Joe Buck in a really strong way. You can make the argument he's better than Joe Buck in certain instances. Like I think he shows a little bit more passion than Joe Buck did. I do think there is a little bit of a conflict of interest when you have the Dodgers play-by-play guy doing the World Series. We also had on the TBS side of things in the NLCS, Brian Anderson from TBS was doing the Brewers game, and he's the Brewers play-by-play guy. So there is another conflict of interest. But yeah, to your point, if Michael Kay was doing play-by-play for a Yankees World Series on Fox, it would be a lot bigger deal nationwide, I feel like. Again, love Joe Davis and Joe Smoltz.
But stop feeding us like announcer's curse right here. Please relax, my guy. Also, what do you think about the lineup tonight? Dodgers went different, and they had Miggy Rojas at second and moved Tommy Edman to center. Finally, after how many podcasts that have been asking for Tommy Edman at center? I mean, finally there was some sort of trust.
Yeah, Edman was okay. He did not have much range out there. You could tell he was hobbled. There were a couple balls hit into the left center field gap that Kike went out to go get, and didn't really get Edman in the picture there. But I thought he was fine out there. And then Rojas made a couple really good plays. The barehanded play on the Baltimore chop, I think that was in like the 7th or 8th inning. And then the last pick to end the game was super clutch. That was not an easy pick on the throw from Hernandez, and he did a good job digging that one out. So Rojas, and they said it, Robert said that he'll be in the lineup tomorrow. He actually told Rojas right after game 5 that he'd be in the lineup tonight. So, good game by Rojas. Didn't get any hits and struck out 0 for 3 with a strikeout, but I thought he played really good defense, and that's kind of what they were looking for. They're going to need more production than 4 hits in the lineup, though, tomorrow. Like, you're not going to win a World Series. You're not going to win 2 straight World Series games with 4 or less hits. And I think we're going to see a Savage in some capacity tomorrow, whether that be an inning, an at bat. Trey Savage is coming in. And again, we've said it this whole series really at this point. Like, the lineup is not producing. They had 2 good swings at the bats today with Betts and Will Smith that won them the game, but otherwise it was really nothing. And the other situation in the 8th, when they had the opportunity, they went down swinging with Teoscar. So they have to score. Okay, let's talk. You want to talk blueprints for like how to win game 7 for both teams?
I mean, honestly, like, let's be honest. It's the blueprint is player execution. You could set up, and I know this is going to sound cliche. I mean, you could set up the best blueprint and plan together, but it's down to if you have it. It's going to come down, as I always say, are you a dog? Are you going to come out and really prove yourself on the biggest stage? Are you going to perform when the pressure is at its highest? And honestly, yeah, you can have the best team in baseball and have a $500 million payroll, but if your team isn't coming up and meeting the pressure and the rigors of a game 7, like, I'm sorry, like, you're just not gonna win it. You got to execute, and it's gonna come down to execution, as it always does. But especially in a game 7 where the pressure and the rigors of the game are at its highest, it starts with a good start. It starts, like I said, it starts with just not overdoing yourself. I feel like a lot of players, especially we see in extra innings, but especially in bigger moments, they want to overdo it. The team that doesn't overdo it tomorrow and keeps it basic, and like I said, the KISS method, keep it short and simple. Like, you just keep it short and simple. Stay true to who you are. Stay true to who you are as a player. I think they'll win the game.
I think the blueprint for the Dodgers is an inning or 2 out of Ohtani to start. Ideally, obviously 2 from Ohtani. And then you get a good bulk performance from Glasnow. I'm talking, like, you really don't want to hand this thing over to the bullpen. So
you can't.
5.
We saw it tonight. You can't hand it over to the bullpen.
So, like, in a perfect world, 5 from Glasnow, and, that's 7. So you got to get 6 outs from the pen. And then I think you think about Snell, of course, in that situation for an inning, maybe. He's going to go tomorrow, I think. And which, by the way, I did not like his comments after the game, game 5. And then I think Yamamoto's in play, or Roki again is in play. Roki threw 33, but was a little shaky tonight. Will Klein, I think, could be in play, but not to close out the World Series. That's where it gets tough. Like, you really need some length. I think Ohtani's 2 innings max tomorrow. And I think Glasnow is going to be, I mean, if he can go the full, if he's dealing, I think he can go the whole time. But what you're really shooting for from Glasnow is 4 or 5 strong innings. And then you probably turn it over to Snell at that point.
I think the biggest thing is for the Blue Jays tomorrow is just grinding at bats. Just grind, and just manufacture runs. Havoc on the base pass. Do what you do best during the regular season. And if you do that, I think you'll have a really good opportunity at beating the Dodgers tomorrow, because I feel like that's been the recipe of success. Ambush the pitcher. I mean, we see how they ambushed Blake Snell in 2 games. Let's ambush these pitchers, not let them get comfortable, because once they get comfortable, it's really hard to get them off their rocker. So let's ambush these pitchers, wreak some havoc on the base path, and grind at-bats to the max.
And I thought they did a good job of that tonight against Yamamoto, getting him out of the game through 6. I think the blueprint for the Jays, it looks like Scherzer is going to get the start tomorrow, which, dude, I mean, another huge World Series game for Max Scherzer. Was he like 41, 42 years old? That's just awesome. I mean, this if he goes out on top starting a Game 7 World Series send-off, we already, 2019, he was just epic in that playoff run for the Nationals. That Nationals playoff run was so underrated. Looking back on that, man, it was such a great run. They were like 12 games under 500 in June that year. But anyways, Scherzer, you're looking for 4. In a perfect world, you get 4 from Scherzer. And I think Savage is in play for a super high leverage situation. I think, obviously Hoffman's in play. I think once you get out of once Scherzer gets knocked out of the game, I think you probably turn it over. It depends on the situation. If it's a lefty or a righty, you can go Flu Hardy as your lefty specialist. If it's a kind of a lefty lane for the Dodgers, if not, I think you hand it over to Varland. He's kind of been the first guy out of the pen for them this season, or since the trade deadline when they acquired him. And then I don't know. I think, like I said, I think Savage is in play. Dominguez is still in play. He didn't pitch that much. I think the Jays are. I mean, Bassett didn't pitch much tonight at all. I think if you need a bulk guy after Scherzer, Bassett's that dude. I think Bieber's in play. Like, everybody's in play. I don't think it's as scripted as for the Blue Jays as it is with the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers, it's going to be very clearly Ohtani and then Glasnow, and then hopefully like Roki, and that's it. That's like the perfect world for the Dodgers. And then Blue Jays is going to be mix and match based on matchups and kind of what they're feeling at that moment. But I hope both managers manage with their guts and not the analytics.
Dodgers, I think their bats got to wake up.
That's obvious.
I know it's obvious, but aside from that 3rd inning, we got to wake up. I mean, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani legacy game. I wanted to call Shohei Ohtani something tonight, but I think it may cause a stir if I say it. He's like the garbage man. He only shows up once a week this postseason.
That's harsh.
He only shows up once a series. I mean, like big. Like, he showed up one time in the CS, and he showed up once in the World Series. I know I called him the GOAT, but I mean, so far, other than that Game 3 performance, what has he done? I mean, yeah, he's had a double, but like
that double tonight, by the way, how the heck did that get to the wall? I thought that was a routine pop up to
I was
shallow center.
I said some things, but that's what I'm saying. He's only shown up like once big. Like, this is a Shohei Ohtani legacy game tomorrow. Like, this is like, we talk about like the GOATs, the game in every sport, like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, which I think Jordan's the GOAT, which is a whole conversation for another.
Which, by the way, you are the biggest Bron guy, and it's like the biggest plot twist since the end of The Usual Suspects. You flip into Jordan, but anyways, this is a baseball pod.
But when you talk about the GOATs of the game, I mean, these are like, tomorrow night's a big game for Ohtani. It's like, Jordan versus the Jazz, the flu game, the double nickel game. I mean,
wasn't the flu game food poisoning? They kind of debunked that thing.
They debunked food. They debunked it was food poisoning. Yeah, but
that's even worse. I'd make an argument, by the way.
I know, but the whole thing is, it's just like tomorrow night, if Ohtani wins the game and puts a performance up, it's going to be really, really interesting and really hard to not put him in the GOAT discussions and make him the greatest of the game. Because so far this series, he's only shown up once big. Like, yeah, he pitched, but honestly,
it wasn't his best start. Dude, I mean, it's Game 7. Think of all the iconic moments. I mean, just off the top of my head, 2019, the Howie Kendrick home run, super clutch. We talked about that one earlier. 2017, Charlie Morton coming in. I think he was like 5 innings to close out the game. 2016, I mean, you can make an argument 2016 was the best baseball game ever played, at least in the modern era. The Davis home run, the Zobrist double, Mike Montgomery on the mound to close it out. That game was just obviously the rain delay. So 2014 Mad Bum coming in to close it out. Like, these are the games you remember for the rest of your life. Certainly as a fan of either of these teams, and as a neutral fan, as someone that loves baseball, like, I know it's a Saturday night, but there's no reason not to tune in if you're a baseball fan. This is what it's all about. I have no dog in the fight, and I cannot wait. Like, this is, to me, a World Series Game 7 is better than Christmas morning because we don't get it every single year. Last time we had it was 6 years ago, and baseball is my favorite thing. I love it. I just literally does not get any better than World Series Game 7. It's what it's all about.
Who is going to be Mr. November? And we'll leave you with that.
Who is going to be Mr. November? Prediction.
Wow. My heart says the Dodgers, but my logical, analytical mind says the Blue Jays. But I'm going with my heart because the heart wants what it wants. Quoting a singer, if you know who the singer is.
No.
You don't know the singer? The heart wants what it wants?
Morgan Wallen? I have no idea.
No, it's Selena Gomez. I know I'm a big Morgan Wallen fan, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you're going Dodgers. It's a toss-up. It is
a toss-up.
I think the pitching matchup favors LA a little bit. I think
I disagree.
The Dodger bats are still ice cold, like you said, Coors Light cold, and I do think we talked about it last time. The Blue Jays kind of needed to kill the cockroach today. They didn't want to go to a Game 7 where anything can happen. Some stats, by the way, on that note. In best of 7 series with the current 2-3-2 format, teams that have won Game 6 in order to force Game 7 have won that series 35 out of 56 times, which is 62.5%. That includes these Blue Jays rallying against the Mariners at home in the ALCS, but that stat favors the Dodgers. And then when the Game 6 winner has forced a Game 7 on the road, that road team has won the series 14 out of 22 times, which is 63.6%. And in all of postseason history, teams playing any winner-take-all game in their home park are 69 and 67, including 31 and 29 in best of 7 series. So basically 500 in terms of being at home. I feel like those stats favor the Dodgers a little bit, but it's not a huge, data point there. I think my gut is
before you say it.
I got news. Okay.
Shohei Ohtani will be starting pitching tomorrow.
Okay.
All Dodger pitchers will be available, barring Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Dang, no Yamamoto, huh?
And Trey Savage said tomorrow is his bullpen day, which means he's saving it in case he's needed for Game 7.
Yeah, he's going tomorrow. Maybe Roberts is playing some mind games. Maybe Yamamoto will go.
He did it. He did it in the Japan series back in the day. So
it's Yamagoto. He's
Yamamoto.
A dog. He's a beast. He might go for an out. Why can't he throw 3 pitches?
Can he throw 15? He's not going to be throwing the ball for a couple months. So
they don't want to ruin his career, but I think Yamamoto, knowing his mentality, he'd be like, "Throw me out there." So much rings more.
Rings are cooler than my career, and honestly, I don't like.
He's already got the money.
You get 2 World Series. I mean, you're forever entrenched in baseball immortality with 2 World Series.
Yamamoto could become, and I know we're getting off topic here, he could become one of the most decorated baseball players of all time. We talked about everything he won in Japan. He basically won every award possible. And if he comes over here and wins the World Series in his first 2 seasons, it's he might not win a Cy Young because Paul Skeens exists, which kind of stinks.
If he wins tomorrow, I think he's the MVP. So he'd have 2 World Series, 1 MVP.
You think I think they'll give it to Ohtani.
What, for 1 game? What?
They'll give it to Ohtani. I put money on that if the Dodgers win.
Oh my God! I swear to God, I would lose my head because it's just not he just did 1 game.
He has 3 home runs. He's got a 1.364 OPS with a 3.18 average.
But freaking Yamamoto won 2 games.
Yamamoto did win 2 games by himself. That is true.
Yamamoto won 2 games. Ohtani won 1 game.
That is true. And I mean, Ohtani was incredible in Game 3, but he didn't win. I mean, Freddie Freeman didn't walk off.
No sleep.
They just walked him. I don't know. Sorry, my gut is telling me Dodgers win, and my like heart is saying the Blue Jays. So I'm gonna say somehow, some way the Dodgers get it done. It's gonna be a low scoring game, like a 4-3. I don't think the Dodgers win a shootout. I think,
No, they don't
they
have
can't. They've proven they can't win that game all
But
postseason.
I don't think it would never be a shootout because how dominant Blue Jays pitching has been this postseason.
Mhm.
Blue Jays pitching, like what name? I can't think of one game that they actually got the doors blown out of them. Like
The one Yankee game that they won, yeah.
won.
And those first two Seattle games were rough.
Are they due for a blowout game? Because that bullpen and pitching has been great.
I feel like I feel like the Blue Jay bats are due for an explosion.
Remains to be seen, my guy, and that's why we have Game 7 tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait. When's the last time we had a like NBA Finals? I don't know. NHL Game 7 was 24.
We had Game 7 last year for basketball.
Oh yeah, this year OKC and Indiana. I forgot about that. Shows you how much close attention I was paying.
And hockey,
wasn't it 2024 when the Panthers went up 3-0, almost blew it?
Yeah, it was Oilers.
Yeah, that was a good series.
They went back to back. So the Panthers won their first one in 2024.
So Dodgers looking to go back to back. That's obviously another storyline.
Yeah, we'll see.
By the way, I sent you this TikTok. I got to pull it up again. Oh, it was the funniest TikTok I've seen in a long time. It was, let me pull it up. Who posted this? Johnny.6points. It's from like the 1977 World Series, Dodgers, Yankees. Tommy Lasorda coming out for a pitching change. You'll never see this in today's baseball. He's basically, the pitcher's like, keep me in, Tommy. I feel good. He's like, I don't give a bleep, 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 bleep. It was so funny. Just old school.
Would never happen. Old school ball.
So good stuff. Check out that TikTok if you haven't seen it. It's worth like minute and a half. Good clip. But Game 7 tomorrow.
Follow the Instagram page. Follow the talk. Follow the YouTube. Substack article is not coming soon.
Nope. Subscribe on YouTube. We're at 193, trying to get to 200 subs before the end of the calendar year. Tomorrow's our last regular season podcast, but of course we will be with you guys throughout the off season. It's a little bittersweet end of the baseball season, but I'm glad we're getting to Game 7. Like you said, follow us on all social media platforms. Instagram is popping off. We had that one clip that's doing really well. So give us a follow over there. Almost to 1,000 followers on Instagram. Try to help us get there. We appreciate all of your support tonight, the playoffs, the whole season. Like you said, or like we've said, we've grown more than we have in the first 4 years of doing this, where we grew more this year than the previous 4. So thank you all for the support. Thanks for listening tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the game tonight. Hope you enjoy Game 7 tomorrow. We'll, of course, be back recapping it after the game. Luis, any final thoughts?
Happy Halloween, man. I hope you stay safe tonight. If you have any Halloween plans, hopefully stay safe. We will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Peace out.